Hey, what's going on, Masterminders? Welcome to another episode of Mastermind Your Life. Today in the house, we got Dwight Looney, aka Mr. 24/8, guys. Your own personal financial literacy mentor, guys, when it comes to credit repair and business funding, guys. He's helping you all achieve those financial goals. He has his BA in psychology. He's the franchise owner of 1-800 Packouts. Guys, he's an Army veteran. Give it up. Dwight, thank you for being here on the show with us today.
Man, thanks for having me, man. This is a blessing. I really appreciate you, brother, man. We're going to get into a lot of good, valuable information. So I just got to appreciate. I'm excited to be here. Excited.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, it's an exciting time we live in, man. You know, all the media, the tech, the information, able to like utilize the internet to build. What got you? It's like you got this drive, you know, Army veteran, you know, credit repair, business funding, franchise owner. You're doing masterclass mentorships, you know, taking the community, helping them level up. Where does your motivation and ambition come
from? Man, that's a good question. I don't know where the motivation come from. I think I was just born with it or something, because like you done named about so many things that a lot of people ain't did in one lifetime. I didn't. I'm one person. I have did a lot. So honestly, I think it comes from. I watched the interview with Jeezy, and I resonated to that really well when he said that his mother didn't really like accept him, and he kept trying to complete goals to get her attention. And honestly, I think that's been my drive. His story was very similar. My mother never acknowledged nothing I have ever done. So I kept saying, well, maybe if I do this, my mama appreciate me. Maybe if I do this, because I started off as a trouble kid. So in my mind, I'm thinking that that's the reason why she didn't love me or didn't accept me, because I always got in trouble. I was always in the streets, in and out of juvie, in and out of jail, suspension, Title 20 from school, getting kicked out of school. So I feel like I put a lot of pain on my mother. So from that pain, I wanted to do something to make her happy. And nothing I ever did to date made her happy. And I've been chasing that happiness from her. So that acceptance. So I really believe that's honestly where my drive really comes from. And still.
That's incredible. And I can relate so much. Even, you know, I was supposed to be on a call at a certain time. That was my parole officer. You know, that I had, she just popped up, FaceTime me, sorting through the case, and hey, you got 2 paroles, a probation case, and fees, and you know, I put pain on my mom, you know, and I've started noticing women you know, even these women that say they tough and you know they strong, women, they emotional. Any little thing, they feel it so much more deeper than us men. We can shrug our shoulders, you know, get back up. They may do the same, but they're gonna process it and store it so much more differently, and it transforms them a whole lot more differently. When you think about you going through, you know, that upbringing and, you know, being in and out of juvie, getting kicked out of school, how do you think you've been able to use what you've learned from that to become who you are today, like grow through it?
I didn't want to end up in prison. So a lot of that stuff, what I was going through, I'm glad I went through it at a young age, and I seen at that young age that this ain't for me. This ain't where I want to be. So I started making that adjustment. And it was one key thing that my mama asked me that changed my life. She asked me one question. She said, name one thing that you have done in your life that you can say that you're proud of.
Oof.
And at that moment, everything that I thought I was proud of, I couldn't tell her. So I'm like, you know, only thing I was proud of was I was popular in school. I had money. I was known on the streets. I was a ladies' man. So it was like everything that I thought that was good, I couldn't relay that to my mother. Like, hey, I'm a successful drug dealer. You know what I'm saying? I'm a real street dude. So at that point, I started thinking like, okay, I started doing things, and like, okay, I went to the National Guard. I did finish. I did finish high school, so I was like, okay. I just kept doing different milestones and achieving those milestones. So I'm glad though that I went through all that and transitioned to where I'm at now, because I can relate to the streets. Even though I got a bachelor's degree in psychology, a lot of things I have learned, I didn't learn in no book. So I can really, so I have the education, man, I got the real life experiences too, so they can relate to me.
Yeah.
So I can touch the community better than a whole lot of people can because of my education and because of my life experiences.
Yeah, that's fine. Man, you know, Dwight, when you see the fact that you have a son today, how does your mom respond and engage with your son?
My mother actually responds to my son very well. Yeah, so she's really close. Everybody loves their grandma. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, so the relationship is different, and I appreciate it for that.
Incredible. So, you know, you just touched on something that you got that street smarts and you got that school smarts. What, you know, in your own this definition and experience, right? How has being street smart given you an edge? Like, how has it allowed you to accomplish and do things, or this maneuver, and where other people that don't got that fall off or don't even make it that far?
This is an actual study fact. Most C students are more successful than A and B students. That's an actual fact, because a lot of people that have book smart sometimes don't have common sense. And honestly, common sense gonna take you farther, because education without execution is worthless. So you have a lot of people that have education, but if they don't have the common sense to use it, it's worthless. So I think because I did get educated, but because I do have that common sense, because in being in the streets, you gotta have common sense to survive.
Yeah.
If you're not thinking, you're not gonna make it. It's certain situations I have been in the streets that I know I'm in a wrong neighborhood, right? And this guy's approaching me, and I'm thinking like, I know I'm undermanned. So it's just me. So I'm gonna have to just take this L today, whatever they're gonna do, just so I can survive. And I go back and see them later though. So it's just like you have to think through so many situations. So being in the streets, it molds you into that. A lot of these drug dealers, I be trying to preach to them so bad, because the drug game and the credit game is the same game. And they don't understand it. I wish somebody would have told me that back in the day. I would have been on this credit stuff. And the reason why I say that, most drug dealers is not successful without a plug. You got to know somebody. You got to have the plug of the right supply. You got to know the right people. The credit game, the banks are the plug. So all you got to have is the right information.
That's right.
So even if you own, everybody that's really own in the drug game, they get fronted, right? Yeah. They get fronted. They got a good supply. The credit game, you get fronted by the banks, but you legit. So it's the same game. A lot of people, I be trying to get their mind to shift. They be like, well, if I get that loan, I got to pay it back. I said, if somebody threw you a key, in front of you a key, you got to pay that back too. You're going to take, if they say they front you a key for 40,000, you're going to make sure you make at least 45, 50, give them their 40 back and repeat. I said, it's the same thing in the credit game. You go to the bank, they front you 50,000. Just take that 50,000, flip it. Even if you only make 55, 60, give them their 50 back and you repeat. It's the same game. So that's why it was so easy for me to make the transition. And I also see how the world is evolving from back in the day. When we came out of poverty, everybody wanted to be a drug dealer. Yeah. And then all the drug dealers want to be a rapper. But now a lot of these rappers want to be financial gurus. They're looking up to us in the credit space now, because they making money, but they want to figure out how can they keep their money. They don't want to make the same mistakes that the other past rappers have made. You got people like Slim Thug, now Young Jeezy in it, Waka Flocka, like
Rick
Rick Ross. Oh man, the boss for sure, man. So you got all these people in the financial world now. So everything is transitioning here.
Yep. It's you so right. You look at the EYLs, Diddy popped up. You know, you got all these celebrities that popped up. And I think in our space as a Black community, it's still new. The world of entrepreneurship, the world of like financial literacy is still new. People, it's not like we got hundreds of years of generations of growing up in this. Man, you know, like talk about like that transition, because people can, hey, you can flip some drugs, you know, get it out there, you know, make sure it circulate, make sure you good, re-up, all that good stuff. But in business, you got to sell the product, you got to maintain the relationship with the customer, you got to be able to, okay, keep that subscription going, then go find more, go find new. So you get that loan from the bank for 50, 25, or 100, they're going to start, hey, this is the monthly, this thing, plus interest or interest after a certain time. How have you been able to keep your business structure whereby you put in one in, but it's giving you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like over the years or over the decades? How have you been able to improve that process?
I mean, it's just investing. Don't spend your money. That's the first key. I make money and I put it back into my business.
Yeah.
So that's the first key to really, it's the mindset of that. Because a lot of I have a lot of family members, a lot of people that's close to me. They see me get money, but they don't understand that. I try to tell them like we still on the same page. I'm just dealing with bigger numbers, meaning that I can't really spend my money. I probably have $250,000, but I can't really spend it because in my mind, I'm trying to get to $1 million. So I need this money to invest. Just like you need your money if you're working a 9 to 5 to pay your bills or to do your everyday living. It depends on where your dream is at. So for one, you have to have the mindset. And the mindset is even when things going wrong, or even if the first investment don't work, it's okay. File bankruptcy on the LLC. Once you have this knowledge, you can always do it again. So that's just the going back to the saying of if you give a man a fish, you know what I'm saying, you'll feed him for a day. But me with this financial literacy that I know, I'm good for a lifetime. So even if I fail, I know how to pick myself back up. So I'm not scared to take chances. So that's the big key. So I'm going to always bet on myself, and I'm always going to invest in myself, and I'm not going to spend my money until I get to where I want to get to. So I don't. Incredible. And I see that's what a lot of people, they make their mistakes at. They get money and they spend it. It's one thing for having cash, but it's another thing to have cash flow. You want cash flow. If you only have cash, you're gonna go broke. So you gotta keep trying to have cash flow. So I think that's what keep me relevant and keep me moving.
Incredible, man. This is powerful. You know, being in the Army, man. You know, I remember I went into the Marine Corps. You know, all yellow footprint. Yes, sir. You know, drill sergeant yelling at the neck, and man, what the heck? But talk to us about how did that help you become who you are today? You know, because it's an experience for anybody that go into the military for real.
Thanks for your service, first off, bro. You went through the hardest one right there. Salute to you, my brother. Marines, man. So, salute to you. But everything in my life, everything that I was made me everything I am. So I'm glad that you asked that question. Military taught me discipline. I never had a father figure in my life. I never had a positive role model in my life. Even when I think way back, I never had outside the streets. So when I went to the military, I went to boot camp. That's the first time I ever been taught discipline. That's the first time I ever had a male yell at me. And it shook me. I remember I'm from Louisiana. I'm trying to come tough, and it's about 4 or 5 drill sergeants like all in my face, like, hit me. I can't hit y'all, but if you hit me, we gonna tear you up. And it was the first time I tried not to cry, and they seen it, and they was like, man, go in the bathroom, man, because they knew I couldn't hold it no longer. But they taught me discipline. And when you get into this financial space or business space, you gotta have discipline. So without me learning that discipline, I don't think I would be a successful entrepreneur.
That's deep.
So shout out to the military for teaching me discipline.
Oh yeah.
So
is that discipline to be consistent, discipline hey, do the same things every day, every clockwork. Man, how do you use that discipline? Like, talk to us about the ways you use it.
The way that I use it, because it's like how our parents will tell us from high school, or people will tell you from high school to college, nobody's going to wake you up. So every day in the morning, I have to be disciplined to wake myself up at 6, no later than 6:30 in the morning, every morning. And when I first started this business, the woman I was dating, she kept looking at me like she couldn't believe it. Like I ain't getting up going to work, but I'm getting up studying, I'm getting up learning, I'm getting up trying to figure things out. And she actually was like, man, I never seen somebody so disciplined before. Wow. Because most people, we get up, we own to that like plantation. Like we have to be at work at a certain time. We have to. But a lot of people, when you don't have to do something, a lot of people just won't do it unless they're told to do something. I have to be that disciplined to tell myself to wake up every day. I have to tell myself to study. I have to tell myself to keep educating myself. So that's what that military taught me, because, you know, like in the military, we have to be there early. Like we supposed to be somewhere at 8. They want us standing outside like at 7 o'clock.
You know, PT, remember PT?
Yeah, PT, you got to be outside. You got to already drink your water.
Yep, the canteen.
If you don't drink all your... Yeah, if you don't drink all your water, they're gonna make me put my canteen over my head and pull. It was, you stand outside waiting to PT, to waiting to run, like you said. Yep, you got to do all that running, you got to do all this exercise, and then you get a meal. So you working for everything. So that's the mindset. Like you have to work for everything, and then when you do that, you got to go line up. We don't know where we going. We don't know what our next mission is, but we just got to go line up and just wait and listen. And, you know, so you got to be really disciplined, man. You got to make your bed up, make sure it's made up good. Even if you can't see the sun is out, you better have repetition.
Tuck the corners in, cut
the corners. Your battle buddy, if you don't do it, you see your battle buddy, you got to help him out. So it teaches integrity, all that stuff, man. How to depend on people, how to be responsible, how to be trustworthy. And I think that's another reason why my business has succeeded. I'm not saying this to brag, but I was just talking to somebody the other day. But me being in the credit space, and y'all don't come back and do this on purpose, because I said I didn't want to go say this, but 2 years in the credit space, I had no chargebacks.
Wow.
Not one.
Woo-wee.
Not one chargeback, and it's a high risk chargeback thing. And I feel, because I'm honest with I don't take people money. I want people business. It's a difference. I'm more of a longevity. If they come to me, it's people that came to me saying, hey, I need my credit fixed. I need it done in 2 weeks. I tell them straight, I can't do that.
Yeah.
With a normal person, they would just take their money and hope it's gone. I look at their credit report, and I know from looking at their credit report how I do the estimate. I'm like, hey, this going to take about, even if I think it's going to take 30, I tell them 60, because I always want to over deliver. So, and I always give them a realistic time frame. They say, hey, I got a bankruptcy. I'm saying, hey, man, that's going to take a while. That might take me 3 to 6 months. So they already know. They're not sitting here and like, I paid you and wondering why. What happened or what's going on. They know what's up from the day that I start. It's people that come to me with credit repair, like, hey, I need credit repair. I look at their report and say, hey, man, you don't need to pay me credit repair. You need to pay your credit card utilization down. Take that money you was going to give me, pay your credit card utilization down, your score go up. I don't take people money just to take their money. I'm really in this field to really help. So I think that's why my business, because you got credit repair people, they don't even look at people credit. They just take their money and they just keep disputing it and hoping the score go up. And it doesn't work that way. If your credit card utilization is high, then it's not gonna go up.
It's not.
If you have no positive counts, I wipe everything off your credit that's negative, your score will go down. So I let everybody know this in the beginning, because a lot of people don't have the education. So when you come to me and you come to my credit repair, you're not just getting your credit fixed. You get some financial literacy coaching with this credit.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk to you and I'm going to tell you, hey, this is what I'm going to do for you. Yep. And this is what you need to do for yourself.
And, you know, when you keep it real like that, people, they respond differently. And I think one thing, a lot of people, I ain't calling out no names now, they might be afraid to really keep it real because they know if they keep it real, some of them gonna be like, you know what, nah, I don't want to pay for that, or like, nah, I don't think that's a good fit right now. And when you think about it, I heard stories, people getting burnt, paying all this money, nothing off, no inquiry off, nothing. It's just like, yo, I just wasted. So when they come around, they still need that help, but they more skeptical. They're like, man, I don't know if this is gonna work, or like, man, like and it's so hard. Some of them they just give up. They're like, you know what, this is just it. Because everybody different. Some people they'll keep going and like, exploring. Some people they get burnt once, that's it. They like, all right, like everybody in the space is scam, like everybody out here, like it's like, well, it's not like that. But man, talk to us about this franchise, 1-800-PAC-OUT. Like, what's that?
So I'm glad you asked about that too, because a lot of credit repair people, that's all they do is credit repair. A lot of funding people, that's all they do is funding. So I have to set this blueprint to show people that what I'm saying and what I talk about is real. So what I did was, when I got my personal credit right, when I went and got funding, I went and started me a franchise. So the franchise is 1-800-PAC-OUT. So everything that I talk about, everything I do, everything that I try to teach, I actually doing it myself. Mm-hmm. So the 1-800-PAC-OUT is a franchise. It's a restoration company. Nice. That's my baby. So what it does is, if you have a fire at your home or water damage, what we do is we come in and we take all the content out. So we might take your furniture, your chairs, we take it out, we go store it in the storage, and the insurance company pays us for that. So the insurance company paid me to drive over there, pack out all your stuff.
Yeah.
They paid me to store it per square footage, and they paid me to clean it if it needs to be cleaned, and then pay me to take it back once the people come in and they have to go and actually do the repair. So I'm really just getting everything out the way for them to come in and do the repairs. And it's a recession-proof job, career, because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And the insurance company is going to pay us out. So, and it helps. It's a need for, because the other restoration companies that have to come in and do the work, they need that stuff out the way so they can do it efficiently, or they don't want to damage it. So I come in, we take it out, and man, it's a $1 million business. So first year, $1 million in revenue, 35% net profit, aiming for $2 million in next year. Just keep growing it, man. And like I said, I just keep pouring it right back. So that's my first baby. That's my first big investment. It costed me $50,000 to join the franchise. Costing me probably a couple $100,000 to get it going. Had to get a warehouse, box trucks, employees. So yeah, I'm proud of that, and that's something that I can actually leave or exit in 10 years. I might even sell it for $1 million, couple million. So
there you go. Man, talk to us. Being a successful entrepreneur, developing and through the years, and even what you said earlier, being a ladies' man, how do you kind of like approach that world of dating or like being the significant other? Because we hear a lot of talk today in the space, like, nah, just focus, or you don't want to be successful. These women, they just want the bag off of you, or nah, you want to get her when you first going through the struggle, because that's the real one. There's a lot, hardly initiate all these men podcasts and women going. What's your own like observation just from what you've seen and other, what you're going through? Like, how should men kind of like approach that, especially like a lot of these entrepreneurs coming out, they don't know, should I date or should I focus, and how would you kind of navigate that?
Man, that's a really, really good question. I'm glad you asked it. That's a really good question. A relationship is a commitment. And I'm learning that as I get older. It's a commitment, just like my business is a commitment. A lot of women wants to be number one on your commitment list. So that's going to be hard to do, because it's times with me dating and I'll stay on my phone. I'm addicted to my phone because my phone is my money. My Instagram is my money.
That's right.
But in her lifestyle and her personality and her mindset, Instagram is, just social media to them. It's just this. So why is you on there? They don't understand that. So it's hard. It's really hard dating, like when you're trying to do something, because it's so many times I'm out on a date and I'm on the phone and they take my phone and put it down. Like it's a $10,000 deal you putting down, but you know what I'm saying? So it's a gift and a curse, because I can work anywhere I want at any time I want. So I can be anywhere, anytime. A woman that you're dating, 9 times out of 10, she might work a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So when she go to work and she get off, she's off. She don't have to think about her job. As an entrepreneur, you're never stop thinking about your job. You're never really off, because if you don't think and you don't tell your employees what to do, or et cetera, or you ain't working on yourself, or you ain't learning, you're not growing, or you're not making no money. So they don't it's hard, because they don't understand that right there. That part right there. Okay, I'm off. You work for yourself. You can take off. So sometimes I would do it, sacrifice it, but I'm like, hey, and like I had dated a nurse, and sometimes she off 3 days in a row. I said, babe, I can't do that.
Yeah, that's too much time. Yeah, I got staff. I got to look at this, look at that, make sure my thumb on that. Yeah.
So it's hard. I just say, honestly, get somebody that's supporter, somebody that's gonna support you, whether they understand what you're doing or if they don't. That support system is gonna be the key. If you can find you a woman through the process that supports you, that's really what you want. And everybody wants somebody, as us men, we want somebody to go through this journey with us, because it's easy for a man once we at the top already. Once we got money, once we got everything, now it's like we don't know who to trust. So we do always want that. So now if I'm at the top and I'm dating, I'm only going to date at the top. I'm just going to be real with y'all women. You know, a lot of women, they say they want this and want that out of a man, but if you ain't going to have that to offer, most successful men want a successful woman.
That's right.
Most men that don't want a successful woman, to me, in my opinion, when they become successful, that's because they want to control a relationship, because they have all the finances, so they know they can be in control. So you got 2 different type of men. You got men like Jay-Z that wants a woman as successful as him to make him even more successful.
That's right.
And then you got certain men that just want to be just a man. You know, they want to be a narcissist. They just want to be, they just want to be in control and everything. So, you got 2 different type of men out here too. So but dating is hard when you're trying to come up, because you're trying to do things that everybody that's successful is already doing. So I get something like my girlfriend, my woman that I'm dating, she might say something like, well, he don't do this, so he don't do that. I said, but you don't know what he had to do to get to that point. He's there now. So yes, he don't have to do a lot of things that I might be doing right now, but you don't know his story. You don't know what he had to do to get there. Just like if I'm an actor, I might have to act in a love scene. Even though it might be a local budget right now, I might not even be getting paid for it. That right there hurt a woman that you're dating, when you ain't made it. But if I was Denzel and I was acting and I'm going to make $1 million, then you don't care. So a lot of women, y'all got to just be understanding. Y'all need to believe in us. We need y'all black women. We need y'all support. We feed off y'all support. A lot of reasons why we sell drugs, a lot of reasons why we in the streets, because we know what y'all like and we do it to impress y'all. So if y'all start encouraging us in a positive light, in a positive way, you see us doing something positive and see us at least trying, just support us. Just support us when we down. At least if you see us trying, have our back, black women, and support us, because y'all are the strongest, and we would listen, and we will, y'all can make us. Y'all is our backbone. Y'all would definitely make us to push us, because if we see y'all support us, that's going to make me try even harder.
Exactly.
I'm like, man, my girl with me and I'm broke and she believe in me. I'm waking up extra early.
Come on now. Let's get to it.
But if you give me that energy, like you need to go get a job, you need to go do this, or you're not doing this, you need to hurry up and get it together. And you doing all this, and it's like, man, you clouding my thoughts. Now I'm like, forget it. Now them men, they end up back in the street because they know that fast money. They got to get it fast because The grind that I'm in is not a fast process. It's not an overnight process.
It's
So you
not.
got to stick to it. And I understand y'all women, like, it's two different men. You got some men that they just talk about it. But if you see a man that's talking about it and putting forward the action, them the men that you need to get behind. Other cultures, they do that. A lot of other cultures, they don't have to have a fancy car, jewelry, and all this stuff. They got to have a dream. They working towards their dream, and the woman in their life, they see the end goal, and they see that, and they with them because they see it. They had that vision, and it's hard to get a lot of our Black women sometimes to see the vision. It's like they see the vision after it's there. You know, like my ex would be like, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. I never seen, you know, you proud of me now, but during the process,
you weren't.
You was giving me hell. You was telling me to go back to construction. Hey, you need to just go on back to construction. You done made 50,000. You should be cool. Just keep that in the bank and go back to work. Like, no, I'm gonna flip this. No,
no. It's crazy because you see, I feel like it's flipped with the Black women. They feel like, I mean, they alpha, or like you see a lot of like independent boss woman energy, but I feel like a lot of the times they don't want to go through that struggle because they don't recognize the value of that, like what it allows one to become. Like I always said this, I was like, because I've seen how my moms and, you know, pops and unks, aunts, some of them, you know, I've seen some different things, and I saw the woman, really, you can mold a man. Like if that man becomes successful and you were the one in that corner, you can literally create the man. Now, if the man is, and I've seen some aunts, the ones that he already successful and in it, and then you come in, you don't have that same power. You don't have that same grace. You don't even have that energy dynamic. You can't do this and do what? I built this for 20 years, and you can never know when that man snapped. And that would be the woman that would be the man that women, they like run towards, and they don't know he got the whip on him. Like he can. All men are different, of course, not all men, but I'd rather build. It's like if you have a business partner, you already know the partner that he already got every single thing. If you come in, you only have so much leverage. You only have so much relationship dynamic versus if you started off with that business partner and he was new, you were somewhat new, and y'all built.
Yeah, man.
It's a different ballgame.
Well, me and you had the same mind frame because we're on the same vibe because that's 100%. I agree with you 100. Everybody got their own opinions, but I agree with you 100%, man, on what you just said. That's powerful because I'm definitely rather grow with a woman. And like you said, that woman makes the man. Like they don't understand. If you with me and you see my vision and you believe in me, all you got to do is believe in me.
Come on now.
That's it. And it's go. And it's like, I'm going to serve you, but I'm going to take care of you. I'm trying to retire you because all it took for you to do is believe in me. And it takes both of them. And what I'm learning in business is men, we're risk takers. Women, they know how to structure things out. So now I understand why most successful men say they wouldn't be who they are without their woman. I understand it now, especially as I'm into business, because I understand that, like with me, I just take risks. If me and you talk right now and we talk about a deal, and I'm a number guy, all I'm thinking about is the money. I'm like, okay, let's go sign right now. But it'd be a woman in my back. My woman will say, hey, baby, you need to read that contract.
That's right.
You need to do some research on him.
Be careful.
You need to make sure, and then once I do it, even if I mess up, it's all right, baby. Let's figure out how to fix it. You know what I'm saying? That's the woman. Like that's the power of a woman. Like they ain't gonna take the risk. And I say, hey, babe, I just invested $100,000. She like, woo.
What the heck? Yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't know what to do. But she'll come calmly. All right, babe, this is how you need to do this. And she would structure it out. It takes the team. It takes the man to take the risk. That's why we the leaders. And a woman, so we the head, they the neck. Man, they control it.
Yeah.
They control it. They keep us going. They keep us rolling.
Yeah.
And I just need women to understand that's their power. That's their role. And men, we have to understand that's their power. We have to give that to them, because you have a lot of men, and I'm guilty of it too. Back in the day, until I learned this, that man, a woman, you need her to structure your business out, to structure your life out, to structure you. We have to listen to them. We can't be like, oh, I'm a man. No, I'm telling you, man, listen to your woman. How many times a woman that told you, hey, I don't trust your friend, and like 80% of the time they was right. Hey, I got a funny feeling about this. Don't go out there tonight, baby. No, baby, I got this. I come back and say I just got robbed, or I just got shot up, and she told me not to go. Trust a woman's intuition, because we ignore ours because our pride, because our masculinity. We ignore our intuition, even though we have the same gut. We ain't gonna listen to it because we want to march on man up. A woman, they just gonna straight tell you. You have to listen to that woman, let her structure you out. And women, you got to know that role. Let your man take those risks, have his back, believe in him. It's a team. Man, it's a team. We need each other. It is not. We really need each other.
Incredible, man. Woo! You know, you got a son, right? And your son is seeing you develop as this business owner, as an entrepreneur, you know, as a father, as a leader, as a man. How have you seen the way you maneuver and the way you've grown impact his own identity or his own self-belief, or how he started moving in the world?
I think I feel like he believed that he can be anything that he wants, looking at his daddy. He looking at his daddy grow from working every day, getting up, working every day, to actually getting up now every day, working for himself. I give him something to look up to, so he don't have to look at the streets. So a lot of times we all like flashy things. So I got the jewelry, so he ain't got to look at the drug dealers for the jewelry. I got the cars, so he ain't got to look at the drug dealers for the cars. He looking like now, because when we grew up, that's all we had to see. So we want to be a drug dealer because that's what we see. But now, me being a father figure and being in my son's life, he get to see it. He get to see, like, so he can ignore all that, because he like, my daddy got all that and some, and he don't have to watch his back, or he have to worry about going to jail. So I think that's a big impact for one. And then the second big impact, like I sat down and I had financial talks with him now, and I tell him that military and college is not your only two options. We do not teach our kids in my culture that they can become business owners. We don't push that enough. All we push is go to school, go to college. If you're not going to college, you better go to the military, or you better go get a job. That's all. Exactly. It's like, so in our mind as a kid growing up, because that's when we doing the most of our learning, especially in our adolescence years. We trying to figure out who we are. And that's all you getting poured into you, them the options that you're thinking about after you leave out of school. And we need to start pouring more financial literacy, like tell our kids that, hey, you can be an entrepreneur too. Even if you go to college and get their education, use their education to start your own business. So I'll never not school, but I'm just letting them know that you got other options. And when I told him that, like, he just really lit up. It's like, man, like I'm gonna be proud of you. It's like we only think we proud if we doing what we've been told to do forever. So I'm trying to break that generation curse, and like so my mentality is still that way. Do you want to see your kid go to college? Yeah, because that's all I knew. But I'm even still trying to make that transition, and I'm telling him, and I've been talking to myself, like, I can start you I started him an LLC right now. He has the LLC. When he get 18, I'm gonna put on my credit. That's authorized you. So he have an 800 credit score, and he gonna have a 5-year business. So about time he graduate. So he can actually go to the banks and get funded and start his own business right then and there.
Come on.
So I'm like, you done saw your daddy flip money out his life. Now is your turn. And by me learning this, and I'm being around other cultures, because I'm in a lot of masterminds now, and I'm around a lot of different people, I'm just learning, like, this is what they teach at home. Like, I was around millionaires, and they told me that their kids are unschooled, and I never heard of that. I said, what you mean? You homeschool them? They said, no, unschooled. I said, what do that mean? They said, I teach my kid. I said, they said we might hire tutors here and there for certain things, but I teach them. I teach them everything that I'm doing right now and what's working right now. I'm not going to let the school system fail them.
No. You know what's crazy? The more and more, I probably interviewed close to 500 entrepreneurs. The school system cutting people's wings off. Straight up. Like 80% to 85% of that. Come on, man. When we actually use trigonometry in real life, they teaching us stuff and not teaching us the credit and this tax and the insurance and the will and the trust and the funds and, you know, all the other stuff is like, yo, how the circumference of a circle going to help me close this deal? And I think, you know, I forgot who said it. They was like, school teaches you how to be a worker, how to be obedient and just listen to instructions. That not to even really think, but more repeat back what was said to you and do it. And you look at a lot of these people, you're right, that are really successful. They're not putting their kids in no school. They already know, all right, little Jimmy gonna learn about finances, the oil industry. He gonna learn about the stocks and brokerage, and because they already know the school won't help put them in position to run the family business.
Yep. And that's why it's like hidden information. They don't want us to know because they don't want us to be successful.
Nope.
They want us to work for them.
I remember Rockefeller. So John Rockefeller is the one who created the school system because he needed workers for all the businesses he was getting up at that time. And they asked him something and he was like, yeah, this isn't for us to make I don't want a nation of thinkers. I want a nation of doers.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. And man, he's been successful with that. I remember working construction and they used to tell us, hey, we hired you from here from the neck down. I remember working for construction. That's like one of the first things they tell you when you come on board. I hired you from the neck down. Even in the military, they brainwash us like that. I'm your daddy. I'm your mom. You don't think I tell you when to go to eat. I tell you. So everything that you're saying is correct. When the things that we're taught in our community to do, like you just said, man, it's 100% correct. I didn't live that life.
Yeah, man. Talk to us, Dwight, about like somebody that came into the business. Maybe they were skeptical, you know, like, yo, I don't think this credit or this funding gonna work. But they had a complete 180 transformation. Is there like a memory, like one that you really remember that the person, they was like, man, this ain't going, but after going through after working with you, like it was 180-degree change?
I think, man, like I just got a text a week on the podcast and I didn't really get to read it. All I wrote was, you a magician. You know what I'm saying? So, I think, like I said, by me being from the streets, when I talk to them, I don't talk to them. You got to know your target audience. I know my target audience. So I'm not going to sit on here, your podcast or anywhere and try to use my big words or unless I'm in the office with those type of people. I know how to make that transition. I'm not going to look like this and I'm not going to talk like this. Yeah. But for the people that, like how you said, how do I help them make that transition? I just give them street metaphors. Powerful. And then they be like, man, you broke it down like that. It make them believe that they can do it because a lot of them don't have the education. So they have the mindset that nobody else is going to accept them and there'll never be nothing. It's so many of us feel like that the streets is all they have. Because that's the only way they're going to get their support at. They love that. And they'll be like, this not gonna work for me. But when I break it down to them in the street metaphor way, they understand it, and then they start believing in themselves, and they start putting towards the effort, and they just thank me, man. They thank me a lot. Yeah.
I think the amazing thing, man, is you're not just changing their life, their financial situation, but they got kids. They got people that relying on them. So it's like you really changing a family's life. But then the next of kin and they next kids, they can do things. People don't understand. It's like that little change and uplifting your credit, getting that stuff correct That's how you get the proof. That's how you get the funding. And just like that, your whole life do a 180. And truth be told, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and it was like, especially in the Black community, man, like we need heavy structure to undo the hundreds of years of damage. Somebody he was talking, he went through the HIM 500 something. His name is Kyle. He was like, but now he's doing mergers and acquisitions with businesses and trying to buy businesses. And he was like, he's never been in a room of sharks like that, people that are 10 mil, 20 mil, looking straight into your soul. And he was noticing like how they treat different people. And I was like, man, you know what? Like a lot of us, and I think the Black male, if you notice, this was I was trying to say earlier, the Black women, they're more sophisticated than us. So when it comes to getting their finances in order and, getting real estate jobs, property, you can tell they're like 5-6 steps ahead of us. A lot of the Black male, I feel like we starting to make those changes, but we're not the leader in terms of like, and a lot of the other races, the males are always the leader because the women's are the ones like, oh my God, he just went out to take a loan to start up. But in our is the women who are taking the loan to the most. I spoke to a woman the other day. She said, after the podcast, started crying. She said, I'm divorcing my husband. She said, after talking, I realized for 10 years that man, she built real estate empire, something. She like, when I married him, I was at a certain stage, but he has not taken the time to rise to the occasion the way I have. I don't know why he's stuck in the way I did everything. He a Southern man from something like that, and I gotta let him go. He holding me back, and that's why a lot of the Black women, they have that identity. Oh, these Black men, I'm head honcho with the cigar in my mouth, leading the charge. So but I think we don't, after interviewing hundreds of especially Black entrepreneurs, slavery did a number. And we don't know it. We can't see it because you inside of the thing. So I really like, first of all, if they say any Black man had to go to jail, it's like, not with everything you did for 600, 400 years. You got to first send them to some kind of reparation, some kind of like, adjustment school first, us. So it's like, really, we're the ones processing a lot of that trauma and the psyche and the energy and the spirit, and he's cutting off people's legs, dicks, all kinds of stuff, rape and breed. So it's like the energy's still there. It's still got to be processed by people. So, it's fascinating because you being able to do that financial literacy and really being able to change those lives, that's where a lot of that power has to come in, and giving people that option. Okay, your credit right now, you can go out there and now you can get things done. What's the best way, like, for people to go ahead and get started with you, man? Listeners and the current listeners and the future listeners.
To get started with me, just follow me on IG, 24.8.enterprise. I drop a lot of content on there. You can find everything I do under my link tree in my bio. Even if you want to start just in the credit repair space with me, just to build that trust, my ebooks, just to build that trust. I'm very hands-on. A lot of times when you call, you're going to talk to me because I'm still building my brand out. Mm-hmm. So you're going to still talk to me. So just to talk to me and just build that trust. And it's going to be probably one of the best decisions you ever made in your life. And my brother is right, man. It's us men. We need to step up to the plate. Yeah. These women are like light years ahead of us. I'm glad you spoke on that. Like when we go to the Invest Fest, like everything, it's nothing but women. A lot of people that join my free masterclass. That's another thing. I do that every Sunday, that I'm just teaching people for free. Every Sunday I have made that commitment to just give a class that's to teach about financial literacy for free. So it's mostly women that we just show up. Men, we still thinking street and we still thinking job. Yeah. And women are thinking, they thinking business, and they thinking about millions. And that's why we're losing a lot of our women. Let's just be real. Like you said, they with the cigar in their mouth now. A lot of women are dating women now. A lot of women are on women. A lot of women, it's not even looking at us men no more, because a lot of us men, it's not even being men. They're taking our roles. So it's our community, man. We got to step up. We got to get this back right. a lot of men, we hate each other so much. Instead of you coming to me, learning from me, you want to try to say, oh, who he think he is, or he's flossing. Man, you have to change your mindset, because when I see a black man that's successful, they make me believe, and I want to go and I want to get the information from them so I can be successful too.
Come on.
So
now.
stop looking at me and like, I'm not going to help him get money. You have to change your mindset. So I have paid mentors. So my first mentor, shout out to him, 500, changed my life. I paid that man $4,000. And when I paid that man $4,000, some people would say I was crazy, I was stupid. Why did you give this man $4,000? That $4,000 made me $250,000 and made me to the man that I am today. So I don't even know how to times how much money I made off that $4,000. So why none of y'all would be worried about what he making, I'm worried about what I'm gonna make. Stop worried about, oh, you helped make him $1 million. Hey, man, you helped make me what? I don't care. I care about what he can do for me. And if he can give me value, and I pay him. So mindset is the first thing that we have to change. Stop counting somebody else's pocket. Oh, I'm not gonna help you get rich. So you're gonna stay in your same situation because I don't see nobody else trying to help you. So you have to worry about what you can get out of something and stop worrying about that. So that's like the males thing. Women don't have that. They don't have that crack. They don't have that ego. They like, if I give you $2,000 to mentor me, I'm gonna make this much. They thinking about themselves and how they can better their life, how they can take care of their kids, how can they, that's their main thing. Men, we need to get out of that. I don't want to help him, but then you go help the white man though. If a white man, you call him a consultant. He's gonna. I'm gonna go to Lexington Law. Man, I have hundreds of clients that went to Lexington Law and back to me and said they ain't done nothing for them. But y'all will go to them first and then try to double back. I'm like, man, we have to change our mindset first, because we'll go listen to them. So a white dude talking about financial literacy, he's a consultant. But when I talk about it, you're gonna say I'm a scammer. You know what I'm saying? We put these marks on us that the white people ain't got to do it no more. We're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
Anytime, EYL or recession proof it, y'all want to call them scammers and stuff, because then they're trying to help. But when a white person would do it, white people do it, y'all call them consultants.
Yeah. And it's crazy, man, because, I think we have a way to come, but I thank God because, we're here on Earth. We're here on God's green earth. So we can definitely roll up our sleeves and, there's a lot of good we can do before it's our time to go. And I think, I've seen it too, man. I do a lot of like webinars and things for that, like people that even out of the HIM 500 community, helping them, Smitty the GOAT, set up their systems, install sales teams and all kinds of things. And I see how the women move, man. Woo! They on a different time. They on.
I don't be want to hire nobody but women. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. So y'all men step up. All my employees are women. My assistants, everything. I don't want to hire no but women. Until I see y'all men step up,
man.
I don't want to hire nobody but women. That's why I thank you, brother. You don't know how much I thank you for this platform. We need this type of platform. Man, a lot of people don't know, probably look and see how significant this is. It's so significant, man. And I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you for noticing me, finding me, and then coming and asking me to join. Man, I appreciate brothers like you because I don't get to meet or see a lot of brothers like you. So, and I'm going to say this too. I feel like you was manifested to me because honestly, I was looking to be on other podcasts. Myself, my boy C-No, he always got me on. He's the number one podcast in the Midwest. He always got me on his podcast. So I went to Instagram, inboxing people and asking them to be on there. Nobody responded back. Nobody acted on it. You came and you found me. So I'm saying that to say, because I want people to hear. A lot of times that you want something in the world, just speak it. And it's going to come to you, and God going to bring it to you because this man was brought to me, and I appreciate him 1,000 for it. So a lot of things that we say, man, just speak it into the world. Just speak it, and people, and it will come to you. So this man found me. I ain't have to go looking for him. Like, even though I was trying to look, was unsuccessful. this man has the mindset, and he's smart. So man, shout out to you too, man. I gotta salute you, brother. A lot of things that you said today during our interview was positive. It was relatable. I'm so thankful for you. That's all I can say, man.
Yeah, nah, man. And I think right back at you, the role model, the pouring into people that financial literacy, changing these people's lives, the experience, we all thank God for what you're becoming, man. That leader and the movement that you're building and the people that you're going to bring along. Even all the guy who texted you a magician, so you're going to keep magicianing these people, these families into better everything, man. Success, finance, mindset. And like you said earlier, it's mindset. Mindset is so key, man. So everybody that is listening, look, the links will be in the description. I want you to go ahead and get started. Not only that, guys, I want you to grab this link and share it with as many people as possible. Your friends, your nephews, your cousins, your aunts, other entrepreneurs, other business owners, associates, colleagues, because finance, your credit, that's not something you play with. That's something that you want to be 3 steps ahead. You want to make sure you got it squared away, you got it locked, so that if your back is ever against the wall, you got options. You don't want to be at the point where you're at the mercy of these banking systems, of these financial systems, because guess what? When you at their mercy, that's when they're going to eat.
Yep. So you ain't off interest.
Yeah. Masterminders, until next time, me and Dwight going to chop it up a little bit. Dwight, any last words that you want to put on to the people?
The only last words I want to say is, man, when y'all come, y'all work for me, just know y'all work for somebody that has a heart. That's my gift and my curse. So I'm going to pour into you. I'm going to give you all of me. I want to see you succeed. I don't care if you see me. I ain't the type of person that don't want to see that. I'm just going to be proud to say that I helped you. So my mindset is totally different. So that's just basically all I want to say, man. And I just, we do need, like he said, we do need to like, share, comment, because this word needs to be spread. We always share the negativity. One time today, can we just share some positive that can change your life?
There we go. Masterminders, until next time.